Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome, traders. It is a beautiful, well, I may not say beautiful, Friday, June 25th here. Actually, I should have changed that here. June 20, and it's actually Monday. But today is the anniversary of the FCC giving the television stations permission to begin broadcasting on CBS Color on June 25th, 1951. I remember still being 18 and we had a black and white television. That would have been 1978. I don't think my dad got a color television until 1981. I felt like I was living in dinosaur-like times, but what can you say? On my radar, George Soros is out there yelling and screaming, saying that the EU has 3 days to get their act together or they're going down the tubes. Sounds to me like someone that is short the market. And, of course, he wouldn't be the first one to be self-serving in the investment community out there. As far as the market out here, volume has been kind of low today. Even with this pullback, we're off 23 points on the S&P at 1312. I'm looking for somewhere around 1295. 1285, somewhere in that, where we're going to get the next signal in this marketplace. 22 points down. You'd think we'd have probably 3 or 4 billion shares by now. Just 2.4 billion shares. Looks like that projects out to about 3.3, 3.4 by the end of the day. Not a huge signal. And I'm thinking that pretty much that there's going to be a fairly decent opportunity to buy, and probably somewhere around the 4th of July, maybe the day after, something like that. I think we're going to kind of play around here, scare everybody for a little while. The EU is going to look at the abyss and decide that it's going to change something, but it's not going to change this week. I think that everybody's going to have to get into panic mode to get anything done. The healthcare sector, of course, we're waiting for the ruling on what's known as Obamacare, and that's going to now be on Thursday. So pretty much all those healthcare stocks are probably going to be locked until then. What else do we have going on? Citigroup came out with a nice chart. Hopefully you can see this in Tiger TV and in the den. But fairly decent model that Citigroup has for what they call economic surprises. The Fed, if you look at the chart down at the below, it'll show where QE1, Fed's OE2, and ECB's LITRO came in. We're kind of headed down that way. That's doesn't mean that we'll have to do that, but normally when we get down to those levels, the old printing presses fire up, the Fed starts kicking money out of helicopters, and the EU actually gets on the stick. So kind of interesting. We're not quite down there at those levels yet, where previous huge economic indicators were so bearish that the Fed and other central bankers had to act. If you notice that the QE2 wasn't all that far down in this. Of course, it was much smaller. But we're headed back down in that range. So we're probably in the range where we could get some kind of surprise out of the Fed. So we'll continue taking a look at that. I went fully short last Wednesday and Thursday morning in the newsletter. We covered a couple of positions today out of the 10 positions we had, and the rest are doing pretty good. These were probably the least effective of the shorts. One was, I think, probably flat. The other one I was good for about 2%. But it's always good to let your winners run and your laggers take them off and set them back, whatever reason that they didn't run. Both of these were the positions I had the highest short interest of the bunch. And I think that this market, it's kind of got spits and spurts in it, but mostly the way a market acts that is highly short, where a lot of people are bearish, but the path of least resistance is still down. Every time you do go down, there are a lot of people willing to take short money as a bear. It's normally when you have a market that's not very short, you can really head down in a hurry. This one's 22 points today, 23 points on the S&P. Pretty good day for being a short out here. In fact, we got one that's down 3%, another one a little over 3% today on the move. Got an index that's 3.5% down. So we had quite a decent move out here. Most of them are at least 2.5 to 3 or higher on the day down. So we've got a nice movement in the market over the last few moves. But like I said, we're probably getting into some level where we're going to see some kind of signal, and that's going to tell me whether to hang on to these shorts or go ahead and take my money on them. But doing pretty good. But we've got probably about another 14, 15, 16 points down. We're going to find out something. Right now, the volume's telling us that it probably won't be a bad choice to come in and be buying these. But again, I suspect we're on the 25th. We got to get to the July the 4th, and that is going to be midweek on a Wednesday. And if I'm not mistaken, the only day that the market's going to be closed is that 4th of July. So there's no traditional 3-day weekend except for federal workers, which I think are going to get off the 2nd. And probably see kind of a light trading day back in that whole week, especially being at least the New York Stock Exchange being closed on the 4th. And I guess we'll be closed the 4th too. I forgot to ask everybody, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be off that day here at TFNN since it's going to be a non-trading day. Anyway, what else do we've got going on in here? The rumor running rampant this morning is Apple is going to be buying Spotify. I've talked about it a few times. I think the big issue is for us as a trader was whether or not Pandora would ever get going. Spotify looked 10 times better as a product. Kind of a little bit of social, how can you say that? Social kind of sector to it, in that you get playlists that other people made in the kind of genre that you like. I kind of really like it. I haven't used it a lot, mostly because when I'm in front of the computer, I'm doing something. They have mobile versions of it too, but for me, I've got probably the playlists I like, but much, much better than Pandora. Apple buying it probably would put a nail in the coffin for Pandora. Pandora, the new IPO, it's been out for 6 months, done very poorly. I'm trying to remember the symbol for Pandora here. P-A-N-D, just P, that's what it was. See if I've actually got a cool chart of it here up real quick while we're playing around. Go here. Pandora is P, but it's it's kind of way off its high. It's back down in this lower trading range, down on a light volume today. But I would suspect this thing's probably headed back one more time to test that upper $7 range. There's a low out here at $7.83, 2.8 million shares. Just very hard for me to see. I know that they're being put in Fords and some other cars right now, but kind of a nice service, but still, to me, seems kind of a little expensive. Certainly like the other one, think it's going to be the one that actually is around in 5 years, opposed to Pandora, which I think probably has maybe a 2-year or 1-year lifespan. These audio type companies, like the rest of them, seem to have a very short half-life out here in the marketplaces. Let me go back to our charts in here. Other thing is, surprisingly enough, as horrible as this market seems to be, there are 5 IPOs scheduled for this week. Midstream Partners, EQM, is trying to come out. In fact, we had like 4 or 5 last week, and the week before, all of them got pulled, or almost all of them got pulled. I think 1 or 2 came out. Anyway, EQT is going to be the symbol for it, or EQT is the company name, Midstream Partners. EQM's symbol. Operates natural gas transportation and storage systems. EXA Corporation, which provides performance simulation software for vehicle manufacturers. Hard for me to get excited about that one. Loyalty Alliance Enterprise is a mobile direct marketing customer loyalty solution in China. Think green stamps. And especially for China, I don't know if there's a real history of that. It's kind of hard for me to figure out much about that company or even find out much about it. ServiceNow the ticker is going to be Now, provides an on-demand software platform to automate enterprise IT operations. Again, another one that looks like it's going to be small and can't really see that it's going to be much larger in the future. Last one is Tesoro, which I think that they were trying to come out before and have now. I think this is the second round of them trying to come out, developing drugs for chemotherapy-induced nausea and solid tumors, TSRO. But I think if it's not been out once, it's been out twice. They just keep coming back at you on a few of these to see whether or not you could come and get these things kicked out before the market. Looks awful tough for me, though, to think that there's a great deal going on in that sector. Let's see what we have here. I've got some charts here. Test tube B21B. That's it. We're going to go to charts fairly early here today. It's actually quiet. I've had on Friday's close on my scan, had very few stocks giving any kind of decent signals. Probably going to get into some ECNs later, but take a look at a few of these and see how they're working. Hewlett-Packard's going to be the first one. In the meantime, it's time to get a few phone calls coming in. Make sure you give me a ring at 877-927-6648. I forgot. Over the weekend, it's enough for me to forget, especially listening. If anybody doesn't know, we're down here in Florida where we have a state of emergency because of a tropical storm. We have a state of emergency for the county, and I spent about 1 hour last night getting any sleep as the electricity went on and off and waves of heavy rain. Some areas got up to 13 inches. I think I got about 10 in my yard. Everything was flooded out. Branches were flying under. It's kind of cool. And anyway, we're going to get on with HP in just a second when we get back. But give me a call, 877-927-6648.
It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pezzavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Stock market corrections are the number one reason that a buy and hold investment strategy produces the poorest results, and I have 73 years of data that proves it. Now, the good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. And if you're one of the 70% of American households relying on their 401ks and IRAs for retirement, you need the single strategy that is bulletproof against the turmoil of our stock markets. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com. Under Breaking News, click on Success is a Numbers Game to receive this must-have free report. This bulletproof strategy may be days away from giving the next signal. Don't neglect your retirement, and don't neglect this signal. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com to order your free copy of Success is a Numbers Game today. Implement the disciplines contained in this report, and success will be yours for the taking.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, going to take a quick look at the markets here and see if anything's changed. But I think we're still going to have kind of a low volume pullback into this level, and just under 2.6 billion shares on the day so far on the consolidated New York Stock Exchange tape, off 20 points on the S&P, and Apple is at 572. I had a comment about Apple, and I'll probably get to it right after Hewlett-Packard here. This one's probably the most interesting chart for me today. There was a high-volume low out here that got penetrated today. Not a whole lot of volume, which was making me think we've got maybe a few more days to pull back here. A buy signal would be a close back up above the May 23rd low, $20.57, had 53 million shares. Getting into that today with about 14 million shares, but it looks like we're probably going to be close to trading at the lows here into the end of the day. HP has, of course, their own problems out here. And as the market gets weaker, the weakest stocks get sold more, so people can keep the stronger stocks generally. But very interesting, very low penetration out here in this. Let's go to a little longer chart here, take a look at it. But significantly under the previous lows, even from August of 2011 out here, where there were fairly decent support levels, that we've broken those now, albeit on light volume. Makes me think we probably are coming into a fairly decent low in the markets, and probably just need 1 or 2 more days down to get to that 1295. And if we continue having light volume like that, it means we're in a bigger trading range. Same thing with Apple, and that is Oh, into the close. Apple's a little funny. I'm not watching it that close into the close and everything, which was the final question out here. I kind of take a much longer view of Apple. I suspect that Apple itself is it's probably in some big trading range. Everything above 1285 looks like heavy selling. Everything above or below or around 533 looks like heavy buying. I can't really see much is going the way change that right now. It's probably going to be, if the market pulls back, I'm looking at to get into the 555 level. There's several spots, but probably the biggest one is the April 24th low. Actually came in right there at 555. So, probably going to need a little bit more volume to bust through that level. But on a broader scale, that 553 is where everybody started buying in the last load back down here on May 18th that I called. 533 being where all the buy orders had pretty much come in. They would let it get a little bit lower, and they'd hammer away until they got to 553, and the buying would stop. As soon as it went under 50 cents, all the orders came back in. You can see that nice low that was on May 18th. It got down to 522.18, but it wasn't very long down there. It kind of ran the stops, and it's been heading up on a nice little upward trajectory since then. But I still think that we could see 555. Maybe 550. There's a tail end on 6.4 down on the low at 548.50, and that probably would be the first possible level of support. Then look at 533 again. I just suspect we're going to get one or two more down days on light volume out here. Going to be kind of a nice, decent shakeout for the marketplace, and probably going to come back either the day before or after 4th of July. I think we're probably going to have some kind of signal to go long, and it'll probably run into the election, I would imagine. What else do we have going on here? Leapfrog Enterprises. This is one that's given a fairly decent sell signal. I'm pretty sure these guys make the, let me do it for sure, make the develop markets, technology, learning products, and related proprietary content for children. I think they do like Little Einstein, all the recorded little things, education for youngsters. And by youngsters, I mean like 3 to 7 or something. But I think they do the little Einstein things. And there's been kind of some articles on whether they're worth anything or not. I've heard that they weren't, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, get to those phones. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. And give me a ring. Talk about your particular stock. We've got a few more to go through, but take a look and check in on some of the other big flyers out here also.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by Direction Shares. To learn more about tactical tools for the sophisticated active investor, hit the Direction Shares banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, we were looking at Leapfrog, and we've got a caller we're going to go to in just a second. Leapfrog, probably the biggest thing is just a nice double top out here, $10.78 on May 4th. 4.4 million shares at $10.78. Did go above it, did close below it. Pretty decent sell signal out here, but not a huge amount of money down. This thing probably needs to go back and test the $940 range one last time, but not a bad looking chart out here for $10 stock, but a nice consolidation range like many of the stocks out here. So what do we have here? GC, Kinross Gold. And we've got Rick from Longwood on the phone today. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for taking my call, David.
How much rain are you getting out there?
It has stopped right now. In fact, I was talking to the man that took my call earlier, and we missed the bullet here. It was pretty bad for a couple days, but then it has let up right now.
Well, we had I had about 10 inches of rain.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of the East Coast.
So
that's terrible.
Oh, it's we're in a state of both the state is in a state of emergency and the county. Yeah. And is in a state of emergency. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge is closed.
Oh, really?
And as I came over here, it looked like they were probably getting ready to close the causeways. So I'm going to have to sneak home on the back surface streets tonight. But looks like we're getting that back end flood, which they're looking for about 5 feet higher.
Tidal waters?
Yeah, tidal. Yeah. So it's not going to be huge, but there's enough low-lying areas out here, especially with this heavy rain, that aren't going to be helped by that. Anyway, we're looking at Ken Ross Gold here.
Yeah, KGC.
What are you thinking about doing with this
I'm
thing?
thinking about buying here before the close.
Okay. When we're looking at Ken Ross Gold, I would really like it. I see the light volume and I see what you're looking at. It had a nice, you're into that high volume 17 million share up day from the 14th. I would kind of like to see, you got, the 807, which is back from the May 11th high out here, and to the low of June 8th, which was $7.82, kind of sets up the support range for this thing. So I can see what you're looking at here. The only thing I don't know what's going to happen is how the markets are going to be affected over the next couple of days with the EU. A lot of times you would think that the first thing in calamities, everybody wants to buy gold.
Right.
Unfortunately, in calamities, a lot of people have to sell gold. If you're Spain sitting on the edge out here, or Greece, you may have to dump a lot of it to get some money, and that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem.
To pay the bills.
And to pay the bills. And right now, I think the question is, why isn't gold $1,850 today?
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And if it was, then I'd say, yeah, I'd be all over these. But right now, the gold's kind of telling us. I looked at it earlier. I think it was up about $7. But it really wasn't running. Really wasn't telling me that there was a lot of activity in gold. I like the chart. I like the setup. I dislike that we're buying this thing in a market that really looks like it wants to pull back. Let's see. Did you look at any of the others in the sector?
Not in the sector. I was looking at the eBay, Walmart, and Home Depot as those that have relative strength. And then I saw KGC, and I said, whoa, look at that high volume on the 15th, that breakthrough of the previous high on massive volume.
Yeah, Royal Gold's another one that's kind of like that. I was looking at it earlier today.
What's symbol on that?
RGLD.
RGLD. Real Gold. Huh? I haven't heard of
Royal Gold.
That's got two hammers. It's got a double hammer there.
Right, and it's sitting on that high volume up into that same high volume, same kind of chart pattern.
Yeah.
Sitting into that high volume. So I can tell you that I see what you're looking at. I dislike that we've got a market that's pulling back. If I think that maybe patience, maybe 1, 2, 3 days out here of patience is probably going to be warranted out here. I'd rather pay 50 cents more for it in a couple of days.
And be more secure.
And be more secure. But, I mean, when I'm looking at all of these, I mean, there's these high-volume days that isn't too different than what you're already looking at in this sector. And so is it a bad buy? No. I would just wish that the market had already bottomed. If we were at 12.95 on the S&P, and we had kind of a market that looked like it was bottoming out here, even though we're having pretty much that today. Let me check just to make sure what we have. Let me update my charts. So we're off 19, 20 points, but 2.7 billion shares. Not a lot of energy on this way back down. So I like the whole market. I'm thinking though that we just. You almost want to wait for the whites of their eyes because there's something. Soros says he gave them 3 days. I don't know if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, if he has enough juice to actually make those kind of pronouncements become reality.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I know that they're meeting on, was it Thursday or late Wednesday?
I'm not sure.
I think it's Thursday. And, I think that the reaction to that is going to tell us a lot more. And I think we're probably also going to see maybe some kind of spike down into that in the broad markets. And at the same time, I think that's probably going to keep gold and even some of these miners from going higher. I don't think that there's a lot of risk to the downside on them. But I just don't see a lot of pop in these things until we get into that Wednesday, Thursday time frame. So
until we get that resolved.
Yeah, I just think we're going to have to sit on our hands. If gold was going to run here, we would have seen it pop a lot stronger here earlier today.
Sooner, yeah.
We see. I just don't. here in the office normally uses Tom's Bloomberg. Let me see what GLD's doing here. So we're up about 0.7%, which is not bad in gold, but it's not anything that really drives me. I know that there's still some people out there selling gold, and you've got the big buying season starting about 1st of August for the country of India. So you're not in a bad spot either chart-wise or the rest of it. I know a lot of people saying that India's selling their gold. I haven't seen a big indication to that. But I'm thinking we have kind of a market that's set up, we're at the 25th, probably in the next 7 to 10 days. I think we're going to have some real volatility, and that's going to be the bottom of the market out here. And I'm just thinking that, especially with gold, it is a natural hedge in the market. And a lot of times when markets come down, you'd be surprised that how many people actually sell gold. One of Tom's early guests, I don't know if you remember him, was Jim Sinclair.
I do not. No.
He came on. Actually, I've got the recording of it. But it's before the gold market even took off, Jim Sinclair came on Tom's show, and spent about an entire hour with him talking about it. But Jim, I think he's got to be 70 or 80 or something. He's seen all out of them. Was one of the big traders in the 80s gold markets. But basically he went through these gold programs for hedging that he dealt with a lot of the bigger banks out there. I know they use a lot more synthetic things like options and futures today, but still one of the biggest hedges out there against a portfolio is gold. And as the market goes up, they buy more gold, and as the market goes down, they sell more gold, depending on the value of whatever they have. And that's still a significant thing out there.
Strategy. It's what they do.
It's a very simple strategy, but it's been used since at least in the 80s, and he went through in detail setting up those kind of hedging strategies for people holding stocks. I guess the idea was that if everything went to hell in a handbag, you'd still have gold.
Yeah.
But they have a certain percentage of that weighed against the value of their portfolio for any day. And
as a hedge.
Yeah, as a hedge. And it's much easier for them just to buy GLD and sell GLD every day as they come in, which means that the market has to sell or bring that back in. And normally when you see a big break in the market, you'll see gold will go with the market for a couple of days, and then it will come back. And that's when I think you want to buy it. So I look again at something like 1295 on the S&P. If you still see light volume, you still see this thing. Like Royal Gold, it could get back halfway into this candle and still look pretty good to me. It could get back into $73, and I still wouldn't be too worried about it. But I'd start looking at a lot more than just Kinross.
Okay.
And look at the rest of these charts out here. I don't have time today, but I've seen enough of this pattern out here that I see what you're looking at, and I think we're close. Wait for the whites of their eyes would be my recommendation.
And it's only a few days away, like you said. Just be patient.
Just be patient.
Thanks so much, David, for your help there and analysis and stuff. And this is good stuff.
Okay. Well, you have a great day.
You too.
Rick, keep the umbrella out.
And keep your tires dry out there now.
Well, I'm going to try.
Okay, bye-bye.
Anyway, thank you, Rick, for the phone call. Again, anybody else that would like to call now, 877-927-6648. So we'll keep on that. Let's see. Anything going on in the den? Pretty quiet out here. As we go into the final stretch in the markets, Tom is going to be on vacation. We're going to have... we've got a new caller out here. Tom is going to be on vacation here. I didn't see that. And we're going to have Steve Rhodes in subbing for him this week, so we'll be looking for that tonight. Right now we have Joe from Boston, and he's calling about INVN. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing well, David. Thanks for taking the call.
And Nevasense. I really remember this company. So what are you thinking about doing about it?
A while back. I didn't know if you liked the setup here, or you knew much about what they do.
They develop and market microelectronic mechanisms, gyroscopes for motion tracking. They're called MEMSs, and they're all the little things for, when you tilt your phone one way or the other. Mm-hmm. So it knows which way's up.
Excuse me.
Also to help with things like 3D mice and fitness monitors that for joggers and bikers and stuff like that. Optical image stabilization on cameras for like helicopters. So a lot of that kind of stuff where if there's any kind of movement, need to be able to find out what it is. Accelerometers, basically anything where you've got movement, give feedback. But most of their business is in handheld devices like phones, in tablets, that kind of stuff. So they've been doing fairly well. It's been kind of a decent pullback, but I'm thinking this thing, are you thinking about that jump up on volume and coming into this candle here today is exactly what you're looking for?
Well, it kind of spiked on the 6th.
Right.
Then I saw there was some volume that came in the last 10 minutes on Friday.
Yeah.
So I didn't, I was looking at a couple of things. Yeah, those two right there.
It's not bad. I would, just on this one right now, looking at that whole and knowing what I have short in my newsletter right now, mm-hmm. I'm almost going to tell you in this sector that I'm going to wait for that $9.06 to be tested. Mm-hmm. I like this setup, but I suspect that you may not even get that $9.06, but you could get back into the $9.50, $9.45 mm-hmm. on a spike, and that's probably where I'd really be looking at it. I know it's lower than this high volume gap up, but when I see stocks like HP mm-hmm. still going below on lighter volume, mm-hmm. that makes me think that there's going to be some kind of shakeout going on.
Okay.
And I'd be watching stocks like that, like HPQ, these other ones that are under previous lows on light volume but still going down.
Right.
When these things turn around, then this thing's probably going to be the buy. I dislike all that volume that you saw on Friday mm-hmm. On a doji. Either that means the halfway down point or the end of a move. And you had a lower today, which really kind of negates that. Mm-hmm. But you had almost similar volume to that day of the 6th. Mm-hmm. So that's where I wanted to see very light volume on Friday.
Yeah, and do you like the space overall?
That's not a bad thing, and especially you've got several things. You got a iPhone 5 coming out, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that they make their motion sensors for just about everybody, but I think that they're big, or one of the suppliers for iPhone 5s. I'll have to check on that tonight. But they've got, right now, I think a lot of the weakness is that you're seeing a lot of these, like iPhones, the sales, why people are waiting for the next version to come out, mm-hmm. normally tails off about this time of year. So nothing new in there. I think it's kind of like buying for the Christmas season on this thing. Mm-hmm. That's why I'd probably wait for this thing to pull back just a little. And two, on 20, if, let's see what we got. You want to hold through the break?
Sure.
Okay. We'll be right back. We'll be talking with Joe from Boston. And you still have time to give me a call at 877-927-6648.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pesavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, founder and CEO of TFNN, professional trader and educator. Also a special guest on CNBC, analyzing the commodity markets. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And as we come back, we were talking with Joe from Boston about INVN. You still there?
Yeah, I'm there. So you were talking about the seasonality of the cycle?
Yeah, and you know, we've got a few things going on here. Someone asked me about Apple early on. Google's coming out with their own tablet like Microsoft did last week. Mm-hmm. I think that's either going to be pushed late this week or first part of next week. Unfortunately, since the weather was inclement down here, I had a problem with both power and internet connections over the weekend. So I'm going to have to do some catch up. But I'm thinking it's either late this week, first part of next week for Google. But a lot of these things are being launched or announced right now. They're going to freeze a certain part of that business until they actually start shipping. So I'm thinking that you're probably looking, you know, maybe another 15, 30 days, you're going to get into the seasonality of them actually shipping these parts to be built for September or October delivery. And that's going to be on all these, from iPhones to the tablets from Microsoft to all the other new stuff. Well, we got music playing, and I think we've still got 3 minutes to go here. There we go. Something went off, unfortunately. Anyway, we've got... looking at this, I'd still like this thing to get down a little bit lower. Like, I think I'm looking for some kind of capitulation move, maybe a 50 40-point move in the S&P, only to find out that at the end of the day it's back at 1295. I think we're going to have some kind of shakeout out here, and it's going to give us a real decent signal and tell us that that's the time to buy, and that would be it. I'm going to say look for some kind of intraday reversal that gets, that everybody looks bad, huge tick move, and no volume like we've got right now. So, I'm just looking for a little bit more on my shorts here. I don't think I'm going to retire on any of them, but I do think we're going to get some kind of a little capitulation move out here. It's going to be on low volume, maybe into the to the long weekend. Well, it's not going to be. What's going to be a long weekend for some, but not us. So I think we're going to get something like that, and we're so close on so many of these. I would just like for them to prove the point and touch those lows, or at least get into there and have no volume. And I think 2 more days maybe, we're probably going to have a much better idea. But I would still think that we've got 1295. We're so close to it in the cards that we're going to see that in the next couple of days, and then that's going to let us know.
Right.
Okay?
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Okay.
I want to remind you, we just got a minute or two to go. Weather has been really bad down here in Florida. And a lot of people in the area in Florida were not able to take care of those Tiger dollars and put it off to the last minute. I warned you Friday night. Now I'm warning you again. We've extended it just a little bit longer for tonight. Make sure that if you want to get on those Tiger dollar deals, we're going to have some new products coming out here in the next few weeks. I think you're going to want to have a few of those bucks in there for those new products as we come out. But that's probably just a little of it. As we get to the end of the day, still looking at light volume. Again, that's why I'm not severely bearish out here. But I think we've come close enough down to that 1295 area, just about 20 points away, that it's going to just like a magnet kind of bring us back down in here, even on light volume. 3 billion shares with 2 minutes to go. So we're probably going to end up about 3.4 billion shares. I'm looking for something like 4.5 or 5 billion to really give us a nice long-term clue. We haven't seen that yet, but we're going to see some volume, and that's probably going to be at the next big turning point in the marketplace. So keep your powder dry. If you're short, stay short. If you're thinking about going long, wait for the whites of their eyes. At least that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, Steve Rhodes is coming in here in just a few minutes. He'll be back on the air in 8 minutes here. We look forward to him sitting in for the wonderful Tom O'Brien, who's gone on vacation for a few weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So he's going to be gone for a while. So anyway, you all make sure and have a safe and happy day. If you're down here in Florida, drive safely into those puddles. It's going to be tough down here, especially 5-foot surges later tonight. You all have a safe and wonderful rest of your day.